just don't get it. And it's baffling to me. I really don't understand it. You know, the last time I checked, when you take 500 minus 500 still equals 0. You know, if you take $500 to build something or to make something, your sweat equity, everything you put into it, and you sold it, literally, you know, you're not making anything. So I have people coming at me on Twitter saying, "Oh, Fist, yeah, such a big flop, huh? Destiny did 500 million." First of all, I don't think any of these people understand even what that means. Does anybody read the article, like, that Activision's not specific on the details of what that means? Activision spent $500 in research and development, not including how much they spent on marketing, advertising, distribution, getting that name out there, paying the likes of YouTubers, doing movie type trailers during the playoffs, certain Monday Night Football games. If you made 500 million, first off, you didn't do what Call of Duty Ghosts did, and that was not such a great game. They did 1 billion in 24 hours or something like that. GTA 5 did 800 million. You know, when I look at this video, when I look at Destiny, what I see is the model of how the movie industry does things. They go ahead and they put a game out and they try to make all the money they can the first couple days, because after that it's going to go slumping. And if you look at the first indicator when a game starts to slump, is you go to Twitch. Twitch was like, I think it was number 2 on Twitch. You know, when people took the time to sit there and say, "Look, I'm so proud of this new game that I have. I want to broadcast it, regardless of how many viewers I've had or I have." So they started out, I think it was behind League of Legends. They had I think it capped out at 82 or 62,000, and then it just fell right off after day 1. And what people don't realize, you're probably looking at $750 million, 500 million for research and development, and then another $250,000. I think $250 million to get the game as far as marketing and advertising and getting the game out there. I don't think anybody who comes at me with this number and say, "Oh, this game is it's not a big flop. Fist, they did 500 million on its first day." It didn't even recoup what it spent to research and develop the game in the first place. First of all, Activision had to pay for Bungie to come over from Microsoft. They gave them 50 million just to sign. And then they had to bring on all their whole team, and all the expenses of doing that. That was $500 million. And then $250 million to research and develop the game. Listen, when you tweet at me about it made $500 million, yeah, Ghost did $1 billion on his first day. And look where it's at now. 5,000 people are online. I mean, look, it barely did anything. GTA 5 was less research development, did $800 million. You know, the point what I'm trying to make here is that you can make a video game like a movie, and that's the format that Activision uses now. We're going to go out and we're going to blitz everybody, and we're going to spend all this money. We're going to spend 55%. And I don't know if you can go back and listen to any one of them. Don't take my word for it. Take the word of the people who are in the quarterly calls for Activision earnings report, which tells you how much money that they spend in order to recoup the amount of money that they're trying to make a living off of. They spend 55%. So for every dollar, they spend 55 cents making it. You know, they spend in order to make $1 billion, they were spending 750 million. I mean, if you gave me $750 million, I could probably make $350 million off stick figure at first person shooter. Who couldn't make $350 million off of $250 million of advertising and $500 million in researching? You know, the whole thing, what I'm trying to point out is that they're using the movie tactics, movie style of shock and awe, get you to go out there, hurry up, buy it, jump on the bandwagon, using social media, the age we live in now, and you jump on it and say it's a success. Let's see where this game and how many people online are going to be playing this game when Advanced Warfare comes out. And how stupid that is that Activision is competing against itself in a month and a half from now. What they do, they spent $750 million and hoping they're going to make $300 million before November 11th. Quick money scheme sounds like to me. I'm not going to be a victim of Bungie, who's always been spoon-fed from Microsoft. They just moved over to Microsoft to Activision. They've never been an independent company or a company that was picked up and they were doing well before anything else. They've always had a spoon in their mouth. They've always had close to billions and $500 million worth of marketing and research and development. These guys had the golden spoon of all golden spoons, hold their little baby hand all the way to the promised land, and their game is supposed to be great. They're the only company I know that's had that type of treatment. Now you take Bungie and put them like where Medal of Honor was, or what was it? Not Medal of Honor. Yeah, I think it was Medal of Honor when West and Zampella were making that game, and they were nobodies, and they brought that game from nowhere, making the money that it was making. There's other games out there that I can't think of at this moment, but there's tons of games that came from nothing and made billions and millions and hundreds of, Minecraft, indie game, $2 billion with Microsoft. The point is that those games are fun to play, and that's why people are still playing them today, and that's why they're still in the top 5% of Twitch TV, and they're still in the top percentile of YouTube. So don't come at me and tell me, oh, Destiny is doing this. You know what it is? It's Activision preying on Sony PlayStation faithful and saying, you guys never had Halo. We're going to make it exclusive over here. There's nothing to play in the PlayStation 4. And now everybody's so thirsty because there's nothing to play. And they just jump on the hype wagon. And Activision's got the money to do the advertising to push that out there. And all it is Halo Part 5.5 or whatever. It's the same game. And I think it's 30 frames or whatever it is. I mean, look, come back at me in a month from now and tell me how many people are playing that game. Tell me how many people are playing that game. Undisclosed information. If you read all the reports, they're not giving you this. They're not giving you the total of what people bought for this game. They're telling you how much they've shipped to distributors to sell this game, to jam it down your throat at a discount. And then about 3 more weeks, you'll probably see it like at 10% less than what it is now, or 30% less. Just so they can push numbers and tell their shareholders, look, we've made $350 million, but we spent $750 million. I mean, it's not even about the game anymore. That's the point I'm trying to make to you guys. So I'm not jumping on that hype wagon. When I look at the game, and I'm like, oh, Fish, you're always negative. No games are any good to you. Blah, blah, blah. No, I'm not going to settle anymore. That's it. If the game is whack, I'm not playing it. If I see it, I play the beta, the demo, and I say, oh, I'm not going to play it just because everybody else, and that's what they're playing. And you know, there's people out here that are stuck on YouTube who have to post content because if they don't fall in with the norm of the social network, if you're one of these people that are getting their little checks from YouTube and Twitch and all that, you have to do this. These people, they are controlled drones. They are part of the working society now. You are part of the working society. You have to get up. You have to make the videos, even though you don't like them. They have to do it. If they don't do it, then they fall out of sight, out of mind, and they fall out of the rotation, and then nobody's going to watch them anymore. That's just the facts. That's just the facts of social media. And they're stuck in that. And they know that at Activision. So what do? They just make a big movie out of it. Everybody just swarms on it like locusts. And, oh, it's a great game. I'm having so much fun. I mean, I heard that people were done playing it, played single player, and already returned it already. They said it was already over. There's nothing to play. And I'm not even going to waste my time with it. Because to me, it reminds me of Halo, and I hate anything that resembles Halo. I mean, how do you bring back a dead series? And the answer is that you put it on the PS4. That's all it is. It's like you take Halo, which was never on the PS4. We're going to suck this thing dry like they did Guitar Hero. And we're going to take these guys. We're going to put them on the PS4. Everybody's thirsty because we know Sony does not support, the PlayStation Network and this whole, of multiplayer. There's nothing there for multiplayer. And we're going to just take advantage of, how fanatic Sony PlayStation faithful people are. This is the best game ever. If you don't like Destiny, you're a PlayStation 4 hater. That's what it amounts to. If you say anything bad about Destiny, oh, you're a PS4 hater. How am I a hater? I'm just stating the obvious. Like, how do you guys keep following this? And the only thing I can think of is, like, you're addicted to gaming. Like, your next fix is like, that's the next biggest game. And then those are the people that they're going to buy no matter what. And then you have the people on YouTube who have to make a living, and then they don't post. They're out of the rotation. Nobody's going to like them anymore. So they're forced to post games they don't even like. Just look at them pretending that this game is awesome. Look how awesome it is. Blah, blah, blah. No, it's because you need money and you need a paycheck from YouTube, and that's why you do it. Come on, man. Seriously. I've been in places with these guys at certain events, and they're like, dude, I'm just here because, I'm getting paid, I'm on a trip, da-da-da-da. They're never going to say that on YouTube. You're never going to bite the hand that feeds you. So just listen, before you sit here and throw Twitter tweets at me and say, this game made its money back on the first day. No, it didn't. It didn't make its money back on the first day. It didn't. Go listen to the quarterly reports of the shareholder reports when they have an actual conference call and they tell you their expenditures, how much they're going to use for advertising, what this game is going to cost. What of the actual people who bought the game with their hand and money in it instead of just selling it to Amazon, selling it to GameStop, selling it to Target, selling it to Walmart in bulk volume. It's going to be the biggest game ever. As I was told this game was supposed to be the next $1 billion franchise from Activision. They didn't even do that. It did like $500 million. Yeah, give it a couple more days. You know what happens now? They use the movie format. Movie format. Make this game come out. We got it this weekend. If we don't do $500 million by this weekend, it's a failure. The $750 million, the total that we put into it to get our $350 back. And that's just what it's basically turning into. It's not even about the game anymore. It's like, how much more money do we have to spend on marketing to make you buy this game? To make it socially relevant. It's not even a good game anymore. It's not even about that anymore. You can't even find a good game. So before you guys sit there and throw those numbers at me, do your research. Go check it out. I'm not lying to you. Go look at it. Go look at the printed out expenditures. And and they're probably at the end of the day when they want to dump it and Christmas comes around, they're going to slash it. They're going to slash and slash and slash. They're going to micro-charge you to death. And you're going to have you dancing on strings and chasing crumbs. And there's going to be that one group of people that, man, this is my game, Destiny. I ain't going nowhere. It's fun, fish. Yeah, I'm going to stay here. Well, yeah, you know what? I have no problem with you guys. All I'm doing is I'm talking to the people at the end of the day who are trying to rub it in my face saying that Destiny is some huge success on its own and its own merit. It had nothing to do with marketing. It had nothing. It was just by word of mouth, and everybody loved this game. It had nothing to do with that, right? Okay. And unfortunately, I feel like Call of Duty, even though I am a Call of Duty fan, unfortunately, I see Call of Duty going down the same path, you know. And I'm very surprised that Call of Duty Ghosts made $1 billion. I really don't know how. And we're just selling the name now. But I can no longer support terrible games. And you want to call me a hater of all games, that's fine. I'll just wait until a great game comes out. And when a great game comes out, I'll play it. If the game is terrible, I'm not going to support a terrible game. I don't have it in me. I don't need YouTube to support me. This is my honest opinion. And if you want to chase and go down that dead end road and you finally get there and there's nowhere else to turn, and you look back and you see me at the other end and be like, Fist, you were right! I told you so. Till next time, it's your boy Fist. Peace. I'm out.